All right, finally, Bernie Sanders has endorsed Hillary Clinton. Now, some of you might be thinking, but a lot of you won't be. So it is clearly a mixed bag, and with emotions running high on all sides. I think Bernie Sanders did the right thing. So for that, a lot of the Bernie or bust people think I am a sellout, and some of them think that Bernie's a sellout. And Hillary Clinton people think, no, you should have done this a long time ago, and somehow I should have pushed Bernie Sanders to do this a long time ago, as if I'm like Bernie Sanders. The TYT force compels you. Okay, I actually think he did it in perfect timing. But before I get to that, I want to show you what he said today.
Secretary Clinton has won the Democratic nominating process, and I congratulate her for that. She will be the Democratic nominee for president, and I intend to do everything I can to make certain she will be the next president of the United States. I have come here today not to talk about the past, but to focus on the future. I have come here to make it as clear as possible as to why I am endorsing Hillary Clinton and why she must become our next president.
Okay, first let us say unacceptable things, and then we'll get to reality. So as Hillary Clinton was standing behind him, it looked a little like, go ahead, go ahead. And I was like, it did make me cringe for a second, but that's okay. That's almost always how these things go. There's just no way to, not have that optic, unfortunately. Okay, and then some funny tweets did come in. Some thought it looked a little like a hostage video, but not too much. One that I thought was really funny, I even remember the guy's name, Ian Hussein MBA, that's his Twitter handle, wrote in, yeah, I get it, but it feels a little like Che Guevara taking a job at Gap. Right? So like, I didn't win the communist revolution, I shall work at the Gap. I don't know what kind of accent that was. And we're not saying Sanders had a communist revolution. Calm down. And then, of course, there were tearing quotes of the game is frightening. And he's in the big game now. I've butchered that tearing quote, but you get the sense. Okay, now on to the substance of it. No, actually, before the substance, let's hear from Hillary Clinton.
Over the years, I've gotten to know him as a colleague and a friend. His reputation for passionate advocacy hasn't always made him the most popular person in Washington. But you know what? That's generally a sign you're doing something right. And throughout this campaign, Senator Sanders has brought people off the sidelines and into the political process. He has energized and inspired a generation of young people who care deeply about our country.
Okay, lots of cringeworthy stuff there. And I'm not trying to get on her, okay? But it's just standard politics, I know. But he's a colleague and a dear friend. Not buying it. Okay. To be fair, she didn't say dear friend. She said a colleague and a friend. They didn't seem that friendly. I know you're supposed to kiss and make up, but it has to have some degree of credibility. And then she says his reputation for passionate advocacy, it got him in trouble. But you know what? That's generally a sign you're doing something right. That's not what you were saying all along. You were saying, this guy, he doesn't understand anything. Yeah, that's not how you get things done. Okay, passionate advocacy. No, crazy liberal. Radical, can't have it. I know, they were running against one another, and you got to understand that too. But when you turn around so quickly and then do it in this way, it just feels a little disingenuous. what would have been amazing, could you imagine they come out and they're like, no, we still got a lot of differences. Don't love each other, but that's okay. Okay, but we're going to fight together here because we got to fight together. Because this is really important. But that level of, honesty is maybe a little too much to ask for in politics. But okay, so overall, I'm nitpicking here. These are not big deals. So the big deal is, was this handled right? And what should people do going forward? Okay, so number one, I think that Bernie Sanders handled it in just the right way, in just the right timing. And there are things that I disagree with Bernie Sanders on throughout the campaign, both in strategy and in policy. Overall, obviously, I agreed with him more. But here, I think he did get it right. Number one, while every Democrat and everybody in the media was yelling at him, get out of the race, get out of the race. No, what did he do? He stayed and he fought and he fought and he fought. And he got a whole bunch of policy concessions. You got the minimum wage now at $15. Hillary Clinton agrees. Today, they started talking about bringing the public option back. Does Bernie Sanders have something to do with that? Absolutely. He made her education plan much, much better. He got her to say that we shouldn't cut Social Security, we should increase Social Security. He went on so many issues, and a lot of those issues he won on even after the race was over. So yes, he definitely should have stayed in until he got those concessions, because if you're a real progressive, you should be ecstatic that Bernie Sanders got what you are proud to call your standard bearer, Hillary Clinton, to adopt those policy positions. Because as a progressive, you should be in favor of those policy positions. Now, did he get out at the right time? That's where a lot of people would say, or the Bernie or bust or never Hillary folks would say, no, he should have stayed in all the way to the convention. But guys, what was he going to do? This is where I'm telling you, like, my job is to tell you the truth to the best of my ability. And there was no end game here. So he didn't have enough pledged delegates. He doesn't have the super delegates. And she didn't get indicted. That's it. We're done. You have to have a strategy if you want to keep going. What's your strategy? No, but really, she's a worse candidate. I agree with you. I did a story on it yesterday. But that's me being honest, that I think that, I'm worried that she's not the best candidate the Democrats could have put forward, but that doesn't mean there's anything you could do about it. We had an election. So it drives you crazy. It drives me crazy. I wish Sanders had won. But we had one. We don't get to redo it. So I know you'll say, oh, there was fraud here and fraud there. Guys, even if you're right, you're never going to win on that issue. And go ahead, go get super angry with me. And okay, I have at it, Hoss, prove me wrong. Win on that issue. But I know politics, and I know you're not going to win that. You know who else knows politics? Bernie Sanders. He knows he's not going to win that. So, but why do it today instead of waiting for the convention or something during the convention, or some people dreamed of after the convention, et cetera, or never, right? Well, you do it today because once you have gotten your policy concessions, then staying longer becomes counterproductive. Then all those people who said to you, yeah, okay, you're right. The Democratic Party will fight for those positions, then turn around and go, well, you're not fighting for us, and we're not going to fight for you. We're not going to fight for those positions. And you start to lose leverage. That's also real. It might make you uncomfortable, and you might hate that, but it's real. So I think he fought for policy, bless his heart. Now he's going to fight against Trump. I agree with that. I think Trump's a monster. I think that's the right thing to do. But the most important thing, guys, is not this particular election. It's, are we going to get real change or aren't we? And you fight for real change, yes, at the electoral level, yes, during the primaries, yes, a little bit during the general election, but you fight it also legislatively. You fight it at the grassroots. For me, and I think for a lot of people in the movement, what matters most is getting money out of politics, because that's what's corrupting everybody. I don't think Hillary Clinton's a bad person. I think the system corrupts almost everyone in it. Bernie Sanders was an unbelievable exception. That's why so many people were excited by him. He said, I'm not going to take the big corporate money. I'm going to take a small amount of donations from you guys. That's why you were so excited by him. That's great. But you can't hope for rare exceptions time after time. You've got to actually change the system. And the way you change the system is you keep on fighting. So no matter who you vote for in the general election, it's not nearly as important as it is to keep fighting to get real change. So again, I think real change is a constitutional amendment to get money out of politics. I think it is enormously doable, and we're in the middle of doing it now. And I think Bernie Sanders could be monumental in that effort. And if he could actually get an amendment which actually, unquestionably, changes the corrupt system we have now, that would actually be more important than if he were president. So this is not the end of the fight. In my mind, I truly believe this. This is the beginning of the fight. So this time yes, he can campaign with Hillary Clinton against Donald Trump. I don't see anything wrong with that. But the most important thing is for all of us to stick together, to campaign together for a team revolution, for real change, for a constitutional amendment, to bring democracy back, for free and fair elections. That's the fight we have ahead of us. So don't get distracted by all the media focusing all their attention on the horse race and who's going to win this election. Yes, in my opinion, this election is no change versus terrible change. But positive change is afoot. We've got a tidal wave of people excited by it, and we're going to get that done. So what happened today is a very, very small thing compared to what we've got in front of us. Let's stay united. Let's fight for real change. We can do it, and we will do it.